Way, if you want to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, thanks for coming out. It is February 9, 2023. I am George Kiko, President. Nimishillen Township Trustee, Jennifer Leon, Don Keith, also Trustee. Rich Peterson is here sitting over here at the side table. Jamie May, our Road Superintendent. Our Zoning Inspector is here. Jeff Shipman and Todd Bosley, our Fiscal Officer, standing here in the back as well. We appreciate you coming out tonight. We'll get right into it. The fire, take it away, Rich.
Just a resolution to approve the January 2023 fire report. We had a total of 137 incidents for the month.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Voting, please.
Jennifer.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
We'll discuss the collection of the Attorney General, the Fiscal Officer. You're going to do that then? Keep it in order?
I just got my right agenda here, so
All right.
that's why I said February 9th. Where are we here? Go ahead. What were we talking about?
So under the Fiscal Officer, number 7, we have the changing from our collections company for our EMS billing. You want to talk about that now or wait?
Sure.
To get the fiscal?
All right, let's just stay in order. Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get done.
So, what's that? We'll stay in order.
Yeah, stay in order. All right, get on the road, Jamie.
Number one, a resolution to approve the February 23rd, 2023 road report.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Voting, please.
Jennifer.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Second, approve the purchase of 25-inch-and-a-half risers at $90.66 each, and two 2-inch risers at $1 or $101.45 each. Manhole adjustment ring for the paving program from the Stark County Metropolitan Sewer for a total of $2,469.40.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Voting, please.
Jennifer.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Third, a resolution to approve $10,000 from Marvell Supply for purchase of pipe.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Voting, please.
Jennifer.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
And fourth, approve $6,178.65 to Gearhead Garage for a transmission replacement for 2012 Ford F-250 Super Duty 6.2.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Voting, please.
Jennifer.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Todd, Fiscal Officer.
Okay, number 5, approve the 2023 permanent budget. I ask that we table that until all the questions get answered till the next meeting, or we have to have it done before March 31st. Number 6, approve payment to Huntington for the January service charges in the amount of $179.42. And just under discussion, you know, this is a lot of money that this bank charges us. We are definitely open to looking at other banks as an option to reduce some of our costs.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Voting, please.
Jennifer.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
And then,
Yeah, number 7, switching from CBSC to the Attorney General with Ohio Billing. And Rich, I'll let you take that.
So we've used, I think it's Credit Bureau of Stark County for a number of years, but the Ohio Attorney General has started a program a couple years ago where they'll process the collections for us for our EMS billing, and it only affects the non-residents that we're billing. And they also, the advantage to using the Attorney General's office is they incorporate the fees into the bill for the customer. So the township would have a savings on the collection of fees, so I'd like to switch that over.
Motion to approve?
Second.
have a motion and a second. Voting, please.
Jennifer.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
And I just have one more item. It's a motion to ratify an $81 check from the 1/19/2023 pay scale to Mary Ellen Gooding.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Voting, please.
Jennifer.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Don.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Sure. On to zoning. motion and a second, voting please.
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Trustees, number 9 there.
Number 9 is reimburse Jason and Miranda Evans at 4626 Meese Road, Louisville, Ohio, 44641, for damage to their home's spouting during an EMS run for the amount of $605. That amount will be covered 75% by our insurance company, Otarma, and the other 25% the township will have to pick that up, which is $151.25. And the cost to go to our insurance company, Otarma, is $453.45. This falls under our moral obligation policy.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, voting please.
Jennifer,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
I forgot the concerns of the
I know,
citizens.
I was saving the citizens
It's like,
things
wow,
to
we
the
need to
end,
get
so
up.
that's why I know. So, concerns of the citizens, do we have a sign-up sheet?
it's up there.
Is it up here? We'll go right down the list. First we have Dolores Kreischer. That you want to speak up here to the microphone and.
Well, needless to say, I'm not in favor of rezoning. I live on the dead-end street of Chester, and I've been there for 59 years. I have no desire to move, but I can't envision seeing the back end or the rear end of a plaza next to me. I own the lot next, which is vacant, but then my house sits beside that lot. And I have a lot of memories there. I've lived in Nimishillen Township since I was 5 years old. And I want to continue living there. And I also want to say I appreciate Ben Chase, who had stopped at my house and left a flyer, and so I became aware of what was happening and are trying to happen. There are plazas all around us. I don't think it's necessary, and I don't want it to be right next door to me. It's just, I think, uncalled for. And I never even liked the thought of houses being there, but that houses would be a darn sight better than a gas station or whatever else they plan to do. So I wanted to speak up and say no to B5, is that what the zoning change would be? So, let's stand strong together and like this as well as best we can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the list is Nancy. Do you want to speak in relation to that, Nancy?
No.
Can we hit that issue first? Is there anybody else that wants to speak on the matter of the 26 acres? You're talking about the 26 acres.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah,
That's
that's okay.
She's got it.
Does anybody else want to speak in regards to the 26? Yeah. Come on up, state your name. We might as well. We're supposed to do a 5-minute limit, so
Okay.
just kind of state your name and your address.
My name is Ken Mays. I live on 4303 Sunnyside Avenue. And we just got wind of this just today. And we've lived there 20 years. And it's a nice neighborhood, you know. And for improvements like that, I mean, I don't think it's called for. I mean, for the rezoning for, gas stations or malls or whatever. You see some of these little strip malls, they're closing, And as far as, I don't know. That's, and I'll fight right along with you too. So, that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Our legal counsel is here, so if there's and I guess the only reason I'm saying that is it's this 26 acres that everyone's referring to, they wanna change it to B5 zoning. When I say they, it's the city of Louisville. It's not in the township. It's incorporated into the city of Louisville. It's not part of the township. It was incorporated, does anybody know how long ago it's been? 15 years ago, probably? It's been a long time ago. So, of course, the township joins it on 3 sides. We've had multiple calls. I've talked to Ben a couple times. I've talked to the city manager. Don said he's talked to some folks. You saw a plot plan or
I said,
plat plan.
I
Someone,
have it.
you have a plan. They were talking about, Chester. You live on Chester Avenue, running that to the north, but you don't believe it's.
I don't believe that's gonna cut through. From the last one that I saw, there were no roads proposed cutting through to Peach. Everything was coming off of Daisy into a cul-de-sac. So that wasn't part of it. Now, I'm not saying that's written in stone, but that's what I was shown.
Everybody's welcome to speak, so feel free. I'm not trying to, I just kinda want you to know where we're coming from. But our attorney's here, so if you have a question that you think we can do, or something that we should be doing, ask us. We're more than open to suggestions. Ben, you wanna go next?
I do. I'll come up and I'll put some focus on it.
Yeah, if you wanna state your name and your address.
So my name is Ben Chase. I live at 4484 Sunnyside. And Don, we have spoken, Don, we've spoken. I appreciate the input that I've received from both of you. And I was able to reach the city manager, Tom, today. And he shared with probably the plans that you have, and it's the first time that I've seen them. And it's encouraging to some degree to see that there are plans. That's more information than I had when I called the city on Thursday. I first heard about the matter on Thursday. But it's discouraging because it doesn't seem to fit with the residential neighborhood. And the neighborhood that I keep talking about is 62 on the north end of the boundary, 153 on the south end of the boundary, Broadway on the west end of the boundary, and California on the east end of the boundary. And it's because if you look at it, the zoning that exists today, all of that is residential. Most of it is R1. There's a little bit that is non-R1, but still residential where they're putting in the apartment, the corner of 62 and Broadway. The new zoning that I've seen from Tom with the B5, part of my concern is we don't know exactly how committed the developer is to this plan. We don't know exactly if they're gonna stick to that or if they're gonna build something else. The plans that I saw are accomplishable with less than B5. It doesn't need to be B5, and I'm concerned that the open license to build something else that might not conform to the plans is a risk. But then even if they do the strip mall that they're proposing, it doesn't fit inside a neighborhood, and it puts the entirety of Peach at risk, and the traffic on Broadway and the traffic on California at risk. Because the plans that I saw, like Tom keeps talking about live, work, play, and that kind of community is what was described in the city's 2016 plan, right? And that sounds great. That sounds like a good community. I've seen them built before. I've seen them be successful before. But the plans that I saw don't have sidewalks, don't have any integration with the residential housing surrounding it, and don't have, the parking lot goes right up to Peach. And if something like that is built, then the question becomes, what happens to traffic on Peach? If you wanna bring cars in fine, let's plan for bringing cars in. If you wanna do live, work, play, fine, let's do live, work, play. But this satisfies neither. It's a parking lot for a new commercial strip mall, but it doesn't address traffic flow issues on Peach. There's no room for expansion for turn lanes and things that would support increase in traffic, and those concerns affect the township, and the question is, how is the township gonna respond? What can the township do on Peach and the surrounding area? And has the city, like, are they gonna listen? And the impression that I got was
No,
not positive.
no.
When is there's a meeting for the
The 6th.
6th of March.
They currently have planned the 6th of March, and, you know, there is a petition circulating, but we frankly, I understand, need to have a lot more people show up to try to change their perception of how important this matter is.
Where's the meeting at?
The city center on Main Street,
7 o'clock.
Constitution Center, 7
7
o'clock.
o'clock.
Yeah, the 6th. And they might, I've heard they might move the vote back if they get a strong public response, but that depends on how many people show up, and we'll see on the 6th. But,
Thanks, Ben.
Are we allowed to ask him a question?
Sure. That's what, I mean, let's have people that wanna speak, and then
Okay.
everybody can hang out afterwards too.
Okay.
We'll leave the lights on. You know, sometimes it's better if everybody kinda gets in a group and gets in a circle and they all, go ahead, your name and your address,
My
please.
name's Jacob, my address is 4460 Sunnyside Avenue,
What's your last name?
K-S-E-N. I am Ben's neighbor. I'm frustrated with the fact that it's our neighborhood, we're right there, we have no say. There's no control in any of this. I mean, looking at the map, you know, this is our neighborhood. My kids play, their kids play, their grandkids play, they're always around. And look at our plazas around us, look how many empty spaces we have in this town of retail businesses that could be developed. And along with, you know, potentially being a gas station. What about our house? What about our property? Have you ever seen a gas station maintained in a decent enough position? It's a residential neighborhood, we have concerns, and we have no representation over that decision. And that's very disheartening, it's literally 100 feet that we can walk over.
Well, you do have representation, I'll interrupt you there, I mean, you gotta go to the meeting, it's like anything else, right? If you don't go to the meeting on this, whatever it is, March the 6th, at 7 PM, you gotta go. And I don't know how many people received a letter from the city in here, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, he got one, okay.
Well, I think that letter came up, maybe like 5 days ago, 6 days ago?
Thursday, I got it Thursday.
Thursday,
And I would
okay.
say, if I can speak, I would say that's an opportunity for the city, and I understand it's not, but there's something worth exploring is the notification to the people that are gonna be affected. To not receive advance notification. I didn't receive anything before the first reading on January 17th. The first I heard about it was Thursday, and they're planning a final vote on the 6th. 2 weeks from when they sent out letters, and the letters only have to go to 500 feet of the affected parcel. But I'm talking about the entirety of Peach is longer than 500 feet, and all of them are gonna be affected by an increase in traffic and a new commercial strip mall that risks redevelopment of all those houses to other commercial properties. Once you set a precedent on the road, then other zoning could be stuck in there.
What you started, Ben, and you and your wife has started is the best thing to do. Get as many people to that meeting and let them see the numbers and voice your opinions.
Todd, did you wanna speak?
I did. I live in the neighborhood. I live around the corner, and I can tell you, it's been impactful. I live on 6460 Peach Street, and I'm close to California there. Just what's went on over the past, I'm gonna say last year and a half or so, it's just been a total mud mess down there. I know you guys don't live down there, and I'm certainly not trying to cause a problem with you, but I can tell you, if you lived there, you'd be much more reactionary than you are right now, because you wouldn't want any part of it. It's just not good. And you know, I've been in politics for a while, And I can tell you this as a board, and you can ask anybody in this room, because all they have to do is go down Peach and try to get out on 62 about between 4 and 5 o'clock. You better plan 10 to 15 extra minutes just so you can get out. And some days it's even worse than that.
A lot
But
of ways just as bad too.
yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just bad all the way down through there. But I guess the thing that I would say to all three of you, I know that you're a newer board, but it's concerning that you guys haven't been a part of more like the traffic coordination. Now, part of that is not your fault. Louisville does not participate in regional planning, and that's a big problem. We have, in our county, we have a thing called regional planning, and all of the entities are supposed to get together. They're supposed to figure out things like traffic and water and all of that, but Louisville doesn't participate in it. Now, the thing that I really worry about the most, besides the disruption of the neighborhood, is Louisville gonna give their fire department enough money to be able to run all the extra calls that are gonna happen down there? Because there's a lot of new people that are gonna be moving in down there. And does that mean our ambulance is tied up servicing them because we have a fire station right there? And those are the questions this board needs to be asking Louisville before they go and just randomly approve something that they can't or may not be able to handle. And that's my two cents.
For your information, I have been in touch with, over at the, county engineers. They're gonna do a traffic study this year at Peach and Broadway, and that's coming from the township.
And I think they're
Coming from
But
myself.
Don, the point is, they
They're
should
doing
already
Broad
done that
62.
before
They are, they're gonna look at 62 too. So we have been trying, Todd, we may be a young board, but we can see a little bit ahead.
And we did put a radar, if you notice, on Peach Road, if you live on Peach, we put the radar up there. I think it slowed traffic down some, I'm hoping it did, but they were flying on there, and I was,
It hasn't slowed me down,
It's a
so.
joke.
Move on.
yeah. That's all. Anybody else on the 26th, and Jim, did you wanna say anything?
Well, just to reinforce what you mentioned, George, it is very important that anybody in opposition appear at all of the hearing stages. If you don't appear at the hearing before the city, you won't preserve your rights at all. And the most important players in the mix are people who are directly adjacent. You are the ones with the strongest legal right to prospectively present a challenge, either by way of an administrative proceeding or something. And I brought along a memo that, I don't think I printed enough copies for everybody, but I have a few that can be handed out and you're welcome to take with you tonight. And again, the purpose of that is just to reinforce that you do have rights, even though you live outside of the city of Louisville. The Ohio Supreme Court still authorizes you to have a direct impact on Louisville's decision. So it's very important what George told you. You make sure by all means you have a presence, and you have a strong presence, which of course means numbers of people, because you're very articulate in the bases that you're presenting for the opposition to this, but it will be important to have you make your way out to the Louisville hearings. While unfortunately the public at large and the board itself doesn't have that form of standing to directly pursue any challenge, I know they'll be working behind the scenes, and probably at the hearing level, perhaps anyway, to lobby on your behalf. But their lobbying efforts really need to be strengthened by your direct appearance before Louisville.
Okay, Nancy Kraus.
Good enough for everybody? Looks
Yeah, I
like that was
believe
close,
so.
huh?
I think we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
Nancy Kraus, 7506 Denver Avenue, Northeast Canton. I'm here to, I'm here to address the school. That the renewal, or that's gonna be on the May ballot. There's a few things that I don't understand that have been written in the paper about it. One is in the Herald, where it says that for every $100,000 home, it'll be like $133. I take it as a half.
Did it say a half or did it say a year?
It doesn't say for each $100,000 appraised value.
Well, it'll be a value, okay. It'll be,
It's amazing.
it's based on your valuation. So if they're gonna
Yeah,
evac,
not many people have, I mean, they base it on one, in Canton Repository, it also says that it's gonna go up like 119 a year, it does say here.
it'd be pretty, but it's per 100,000, so if
Per
you got
100,
200,000.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know how we can afford to keep paying into this tax levy. I mean, I've lived there since 92, and I paid into the taxes for the schools, I never had any kids go to the school. But I always paid into them, I don't want a fixed income, it's hard, I struggle. Because that raises it quite a bit. But, that's my one thing. I also wanted to know, about getting tapes. Are they gonna have tapes ever again for the meetings?
We're doing digital,
Yeah, I know, but what if everybody
I know.
can't do it that way?
It's like online banking, it's not fun, but it's.
No, it's not fun, and I've
I
had
know.
problems with it,
Yeah.
online banking on my phone, I will never go back to that.
They can get a digital copy, right, Sandy?
Yeah, I send the recording up to the fiscal office, and they can do a request for, it's a public record, so just do a request to the fiscal office, and they should be able to burn you a CD like we used to.
Yeah, they can bring you a
Cause,
CD.
I mean, I know the other, Shelby used to do it all the time.
Right,
Yeah.
right, that's the fiscal office that handles any records, and they always get the copy of it.
Okay, all right.
Thanks, Nancy.
Mhm.
Donna Fuller.
Oh, you're on page 57, Rosedale. I wanna say to the people that do travel Broadway and 62, I go down to my son's house about between 2 and 3:30, 4 o'clock, around there. And I tried to get out of Peach to go up to 62, and I am not exaggerating, you guys can make fun of me if you want, I got lost. I tried to back out of there, go back through, so I could get home, because I had a doctor's appointment. I sat through 3 lights. 3 lights. The traffic was backed all the way up to Clay. So, you know, Grandma, I decided to pull in somebody's driveway, go back, and there I ended up in a trailer park. Had no idea where I was. And ended up late for my doctor's appointment. I called and told him what happened. And it was okay, but the point is, you should not have to wait on 3 lights. And that traffic backed all the way up, I don't know if you know where Clay is. That's a long distance to sit through 3 lights. I was not too happy, so I agree with you people that this is gonna make, right now, if it's this bad, what's it gonna be like whenever they keep building back on that way? It's gonna be bad, let's just put it that way. So I hope it works for you people to complain. Did you put an ad for Sandy's job? Like whenever you hire anybody in the township, you put an ad out, and other people can apply for it? Did we do that?
We are not required to do that, Donna.
No.
Yeah.
By law, we're not required to do that.
Yeah, I figured. So then nobody else was interviewed for the job, okay. What is her description?
She's the office manager.
Oh, office manager, okay, then she's not a secretary. Cause Shelby and the girls that worked there before, they did several things. And that's why I was
We
saying.
changed that. We changed the
So
description.
then Jeff is still
He's zoning inspector.
still secretary?
No,
and
he's
still-
zoning inspector.
And full-time?
He did a temporary kind of fill-in, yes.
Okay,
He is
he's full-time. Well, we never had a full-time.
Well, we need one.
Well, we
We
never
have a
had
lot
one
of permits.
before. Another thing I wanted to ask is, behind the fire station, Rich's, what are they gonna do if they have a fire and they need to get out of there? And that traffic's backed up like that, Rich, what will we do, drive on properties? I'm confused.
Do what we do now, they just get out of the way.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, we don't have turning lanes, there's nowhere to go. And if they keep adding on to those apartments, that becomes a problem. It was brought up whenever they first did all this. And it was just like, whatever. So we got some problems. I don't understand none of it, to be honest. And just like with the, property down there, it's always, Nimishillen, we get involved in this with Louisville, and it's always too little, too late. Because we don't really have any say-so. These people can go to the meeting, but I can tell you one thing, you better have a lot of people there and a lot of backup in order to make any difference whatsoever. It isn't, you know, I hate to say it, those apartments are up there, they're gonna be a Section 8 before you know it. I think that, and I've lived here long enough to know.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks, Don.
So we better start thinking and fight for each other.
Okay, anything else?
Hey, George,
Yeah.
I know that the estimation of levies can be confusing from time to time, and then the information you get in the newspaper can even be more confusing. I think the easiest way to factor any levy, no matter where you live in the state of Ohio, is 1 mil is $35 per 100,000. So 2 mil, you just do the math, it's $70, and that is per year, not per half. And you know, 1.5, you would just take the $17 and add it to 35 and so on. So you don't have to worry about the machinations of getting to that calculation, just always remember $35 per 100,000, no matter where you live.
Good, thank you.
Thanks.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Have a motion and a second, voting please?
Jennifer?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
All right, everyone, thank you for coming.
Will we see you guys over there on that meeting on Monday?
6.
Yeah.